So how long should you wait for your fig cuttings to root? Well, I guess that depends on just how crazy you are. So we spent a lot of time rooting all these cuttings, and we finally arrived at this point where we're about a couple months into it, and it's time to start making some decisions. How do I know when they are completely dead and when they are going to maybe still possibly root? And when should I yank them out of there and get rid of them? Well, it's hard to know because you spend so much money on these fig cuttings and so much time is invested, you want to give them every chance you possibly can. So let's just kind of address this little problem for a second. First of all, isn't this beautiful? This is that Martin Inca Ramada, and it is absolutely turning out to be gorgeous. I love this little variety and its striped branches here that it's got. I love that thing. So we're gonna head in a second and show you what's been going on. It's been a few weeks since I've posted, actually I think 3 weeks since I posted an update on all those fig cuttings. A lot of them are doing real well. Some of them died back and I kind of culled them out of there, but there were a few of them that I almost pulled out of there and I'm glad I didn't, and we're going to show you those. But how do you know when to actually pull them out and get rid of them? Well, like I said, it depends on how crazy you are. Some people I've seen posts, online where they're keeping these things for up to a year before they actually root. I've heard, I think Dave posted something on What the Fig where he had one for like a year and it finally rooted, which, man, you're committed at that point. Personally, I am not quite so nice to these things. I know that's kind of cringeworthy, but I will just yank them out and toss them if they're not showing roots within a month or two at the very most, because I want to get on and move on with other things. But it's like everybody's got their passion and their hobby. And my big thing is these rhododendrons. And as you've seen in some of my previous videos over the years, there are varieties of rhododendrons that I have waited for 2 years for one little cutting to root and grow. And you've seen that Senator Jackson cutting I took, finally got one of them to root, and it's been years in the making. So I totally get it. But I'm the kind of person that's just going to yank them and toss them, especially if I already have that variety. Some of these varieties of figs are really expensive, and so you want to give them every just little bit of possible chance you can give them. And so if you don't have the variety already and it's your one cutting that you spent a lot of money on, then you'll want to give it all the chance you can. If it's something that I already have out in the orchard, like that Martin Inca Ramada, I've already got that thing out in the orchard, planted in the ground, and so far it's come back each year from the ground. So I'm fairly certain that I'm always going to have a shot at propagating it again and getting it going good, or putting it in a greenhouse if I want. Plus I've got a backup here in the hoop house. I really like that variety. So if that cutting wasn't showing promise by now, it's gone in my book. But I'm not like trying to generate massive amounts of plants to sell to people online. I'll occasionally sell a few here and there, but it's not like I'm trying to keep every single one of these expensive varieties alive to just blow them out the door. Some people, that's their business, and they may want to take extra time to try and make sure those things survive. So I'm going to take you inside right now and show you something that I think is really cool, because I had almost given up on several of these figs. And the other day, I turned them over and looked at them. You're gonna like what you see. All right, and we're back. And there's where we're at, guys. It's been a few months now since we started all these figs, and they are really coming along. But I want to show you something in particular, and then we'll look through all this real quick. But check this out. I've kind of got things moved over that are rooted and doing well, and I know they're probably going to just coast on through the season until we get to spring. Some of them are doing real well. If you look at that Maroc 23 in the back, that sucker, it's in a small cup, and it's got some tall growth going up there, but doing pretty good on that one. Here's the side that has not rooted, or is starting to root, or is rooted and then not doing so well. It's just kind of straggling along. Now, I've pulled some of these figs out of here that were cuttings that I knew were rotted and I knew had died back. I pulled them out and just got rid of them because they were rotten. Some of these weren't going to do real well. And if you remember, or have been following along from the beginning, a lot of, probably 95% of these were all cuttings that were a year old that I had sitting in my fridge since last winter. So to get this kind of success already on these is pretty mind-blowing to me. I mean, I'm pretty excited about getting just this much to root and grow after these things sat in the fridge for a year. So here we go. How long can you leave these things, you know, or how long does it take to root these things? How long can you leave them in a cup before you know they're rotten? Well, I mean, that's just almost impossible to tell because every variety is different and going to do its own thing. But I'm going to show you an example right here that is just blowing my mind. This is Citcellus, and I thought this thing was completely dead. I thought it was done. You can see it's just completely dried up on the top. Let's see if I can get that zoomed in a little bit there. I don't know if it's gonna, it's just dried up. It's not looking good. I thought it was dead. It was, look at that, that's showing you pretty good right there. It's just shriveled, but look at that little tiny bud right there. Look at that little tiny bud. I saw that and I was like, no way, because I was gonna pull this thing out and just dump it. And then I pulled it up and look at what I saw here. Little tiny root. Little tiny root right there. Let me see if I can get this around to the other side. Little tiny roots right there. So this thing is starting, and we've got some green bud material just starting to want to pop out right there. So you just, gosh, you never know, guys. You just never know. I'm excited that that thing is starting to do something. We'll see if it continues to grow, because what I've noticed is when they root real good and well right from the beginning and start growing like crazy, they generally tend to do well. But when they root like that, they take a long time and things are slow going, and I worry about them a little more because they don't always necessarily come out in the end. So we'll watch it. We'll see what happens. Let's show you another one. There's actually 3 of these that have just shocked me to no end. I thought this thing was dead right here. And this is I was really excited about this one because it's another Breba fig that will do well in, I'm hoping will do well in my area, Zone 8B, Western Washington State. And I thought it was completely gone. You can obviously see that little bit of green growth, that little bud right there is just starting to break. But I thought this thing was dried up, completely dead. You know, the soil, I let it kind of dry out and I was done with it. And then check this out. See if I get a better grasp on this. I pulled it up before I saw that green bud. I actually noticed this one about a week ago. I thought it was done and I pulled it out just to look at it one last time, and look at that. That's what I saw. All those roots under the surface. Get this in better light. Look at all those roots, man. Lampiera preta. I am so excited that this one rooted. Just big, massive roots. Trying to grow out looking for water right there. So, like I said, you just never know. And I thought this thing, for some reason, it looked like it was drying up. I thought it was done. So that one is a complete success. I mean, one more time, look at that. Look at those beautiful roots. Anyway, I'm really happy to have that one. Like I said, another Breba fig like the Desert King. I think it's a San Pedro. Excited to have it here. Should fruit well with a Breba crop every year. Here's the last one that I was about to dump. And you just, once again, you never know. This is BNR, so Bordesat Negra Ramada. I had taken a good chunk of branch. It had 2 little branches. I've been watching these shrivel up and die right here. Look at that. It's just, the whole top, you can tell is dead. There were no buds doing anything, so I thought it was done. I was going to dump this one. And then the other day, look at what I noticed. Let's see if we can find it here. Look at this. Little roots just starting. Now, this BNR tends to have smaller roots, and they're slower growing is what I'm finding with all my cuttings anyway. I don't see anything anywhere else. And we'll see. Time will tell if anything's going to come of that one. I don't know. I don't see any green buds starting on it. It might be something where it comes up from down underneath the rooting medium there. But that one's actually got roots and it's starting to grow and it's, you know, it's still alive. But who knows what's going to happen. These BNR seem to grow more slowly. Here's another BNR. And it's got roots, but it was rooting right alongside all the rest of these big guys. But you can see it's just a smaller plant. And it's still got small roots, nothing real massive. And so that's why people probably graft this one a lot. But I really want to try and get one that's not grafted. So we're going to just keep playing along with that and see if it can make it. So there you go. You know, I don't know if I answered anybody's question in that one or not, but let's, I'm going to keep those for now and see how they do since I know they've got roots now. Let's kind of move along and show you some of this stuff because I know some of you guys want to see how they're doing. Now, first, real quick, we'll start over here. I wanted to show you guys this one. This was sent over to me from the Fig Hunter here, Keora Pluma 277. It's finally starting to get some roots right there. No green growth yet. Oh, look at that. Man, you just never know. Massive roots on the back side of that thing. I've been sitting here looking at the front. Look at, jeez. I love these fat fig cuttings. Look at that. Holy cow. No green growth yet, but it'll pop out eventually. That's how these big fat figs are, fat fig cuttings. So there was that one. It rooted. Here was one I don't think is doing anything. Or yeah, it is, sure enough. He sent me this one too, Edible 292. I'm not sure what variety that is, but tons of roots coming out. It was a fatter, older cutting, so no green growth yet, but that one's, you know, rest assured that's going to send out some growth. Those are some fat roots right there. And I know you were probably wanting to see how this was going, David, so I thought I'll just show it to you. The UC Davis Persist that you sent me, that one, nothing yet. I've been looking at it every day. It sent out some green growth, and then the leaves died back, and then it looks like it's wanting to start trying to, it kind of gathering its resources, and it's the buds at the end are starting to look good again, and it's wanting to do something. So I'm expecting to see some roots here at some point on that one, since it's already been pretty active. There was a, so that was 3 of them you sent me. You sent me 6. This one I think is a goner. That was a variety you sent me. No roots on it. The top's looking pretty dried and shriveled up. So I don't think that one's going to do anything. But here was the Sisters that you sent me. That one rooted. And it's growing well. Sisters 65. And it's looking good. Nice green growth on it. Doing real well. So we'll keep that one over here. Now, one thing that I get questions a lot about that I think I need to answer here is people will always want to know, how are you watering these things? Well, I'll just tell you flat out, and then you can decide if that's right or wrong, because, you know, I'm still learning with the watering. Every year I do this a little different and try to come up with the best method. But so far I've been mostly bottom watering. I just pour water into these totes about maybe 1/4 inch or so up the bottom of the cups and just let them soak it up. I have been putting in a weak dilute solution of Miracle-Gro. I'll do like one little, I think it's like 1/8 of a teaspoon or something like that, or 1/4 of a teaspoon on the little measurement that comes in the pack, in 1 gallon of water, and then I dilute that by half again, and I put the water into each of these. I've only done that a couple times with the Miracle-Gro, and then the rest of the time just pure clean water poured into the bottom. A couple times I've pulled all these totes out to my kitchen sink and watered from the top, just because some of that topsoil starts drying out after a while, and it dries down an inch or 2 down into there, and I want to just kind of refreshen everything up. But I haven't been doing that a lot. I've been bottom watering mostly. And what I'm finding is I'm having far fewer problems with gnats because the surface is dry. And so they can't get in there and lay eggs that are going to survive because that's all dry material. There's nothing moist for them to get into. And so I'm finding good results with that. So that's the watering end of things. The other thing is I've noticed when they don't, you know, I know a lot of people, some people like to let them dry out, and I've done that in the past, but I'm keeping water on these this year, and they're doing better. This one, it still had a lot of moisture down in the cup. It's got a lot of roots. It still had a lot of moisture down in there, but I wasn't keeping constant water down in the tub on it. It was sitting over on this side, and it was wilting constantly and really struggling. So I just said, I'm going to move it over to where it's sitting in water and it's got constant moisture down in there. I watered from the top real well, put it over, and all of a sudden the branches are starting to stand back up straight. They just, in my experience with this so far, I'm finding that they just love tons of water. Figs love tons of water when they're first starting out rooting. And as long as you have a good rooting medium that's not full of bugs and fungus and bacteria, and, you know, you start off with something relatively inert, they're not gonna rot with that, you know, that excess water. But that's what I'm finding so far anyway this year. All right, now these were just sent over to me from a guy named Justin over in Pennsylvania, and he sent them as fig pops, sort of like this one right here. This is one of them. He sent me a green Ischia, and I just haven't potted it up yet, but I potted them up into these big cups, and they're finally starting to really get some nice roots. There's a couple roots right there. They were already rooted really well, but I just wanted to let them stretch out a little bit. But look at that big, fat, beautiful roots there. But a lot of these came from his family over in Syria, so I was really grateful to him for sending these to me. I just love the stories that come along with plants. And his family brought them over from Syria, I don't know how many years or decades ago, and he's grown it at his place and sent me these plants, which, like I said, I'm just excited to have. But here we go. So it's Safrawi was one of them. And then and I'm going to have to research these guys a little bit more, but Syrian Shatwi, and that one's got some nice roots on it as well. And then this one he said was his favorite, and I'm excited to have. He sent me pictures of the ripe fruit too, and it looks absolutely exquisite, just beautiful. But it's called Sumaki, but he said there's another variety being sold as Sumaki in the United States that... This one I actually just potted up, so it doesn't have a ton of roots coming out through yet. But he said another variety that is being sold as Sumaki that's a little different than this one. And this one actually came from his family in Syria probably decades ago. But he said this is his favorite, and he wanted to keep it separate from the one being sold here, so he decided we're going to call this one King Sumaki. So that's how I labeled it. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one turns out right there. Throughout here, we've got a bunch of different stuff that you guys have all seen me rooting over this time. Oh, there was that one I didn't show you, David? So, Edible C06, that was another one the Fig Hunter sent me. Tons of roots on that one. I missed that. Anyway, it's sitting in there growing real well. We've got, what do we have? I won't pick all these up. There's Figoin in the back there. We've got... Nerino, this one came, I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure this came from Steve over on the other side of the mountains, and it's doing real well right there. I showed you the BNR. We've got, I just love this one, Martinenca ramata. Such a beautiful leaf, and looks real healthy, and it's got some nice roots, pretty aggressive roots, really. And so I'm looking forward to seeing that one do well. We've got another Martinenca ramata right here. I love these striped figs, but this one's just starting. Finally getting some roots on it. Looking real good. All this is going to be tougher to pull out of here and get back to, but varieties, some of them that I don't have that I'm looking forward to. Everything's thriving and doing real well back in here. We do have, I'll have to show you this one. Look at that beauty. This one came from Harvey during his plant cutting sale, or his fig cutting sale last year. Like I said, this is one of those that sat in the fridge for a year. You guys are going to cringe when you see what variety it is. White Madeira #1. I let that thing sit in the fridge for a year, and it rooted like crazy. So it's rooted. It's doing real well, growing healthy. Thank God I didn't lose that one. But his cutting material has always just been fabulous when I get it from him. Lots of stuff going on in there. You can see it's all looking real beautiful and growing real healthy. And, you know, time will tell to see how the rest of these guys do. But I think I have drugged this one on long enough. I think it's probably time to end it right here for you guys. We'll come back and show you if more of this stuff starts rooting and kind of go from there. In the meantime, hopefully these guys don't grow up too big and take over the tent, but we've got a little more room to go here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Hope you learned something. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to follow along. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.